here we are. I don't know. Not quite ready, obviously. I'm just getting things spun up right now, but since I did promise I'll go live at 3:30 today, well, my time 3:30. I'm here regardless. So I'm going to make my announcement here, turn on some music, and, try to get started here. I was just running around, barely conscious. You know how it goes. Let's see, get my Twitch chat up. Hey, Void. Hey, McCory. Welcome, everyone. Wow, so timely. It's almost like you were here before me. Welcome, everyone. We're getting through it. We made some good progress yesterday. Hopefully we can clean some stuff up. And etc. XFC here as well. That's good. That's good. XFC says 58 minutes late. What do you mean 58 minutes late? I said 3:30 or yeah. Unless your time zone was messed up. Oh, 50 seconds. Okay, I see. I was like, what do you mean? Hey, Celine. Hey, long time no see, Celine. We're going to put on our chill hop, lo-fi, hip-hop, etc. here. And we're going to chill here. You're all going to witness the ability of my story writing, which isn't very good. Mostly because grammatical issues, I think. Maybe storytelling as well. Who knows? I would like to think that oh gosh, that's a lot of music. I would like to think that my storytelling is okay, but some people may disagree. Let's shuffle up here. Jump. Okay. Let's see. Celine says, oh, had a very busy second semester and summer so far, lol, but I have returned. Yes. Yes, we welcome you. I'm gonna put this reminder for myself of what we're trying to achieve here. Then we're gonna try to go through all the checklist and get our game started. But before I even do that, I gotta make sure I pin comment for Through the Shatter. Everyone, Steam page is available. Even this visual is already outdated now. Though there's something about this I kind of enjoy. Obviously I changed it recently to generate different type of map, but we'll see if that's better or not. Let's see. Wish list available now. And then boop. Bam. Pin. Manually unpin. And then we'll do that on YouTube as well. All right. Let's see. XFCT says, what did you do last live? I'm about to tell you, but let's go through this real quick. XFC says, Ezra, can I show a link to a video just to me give an idea for the game? Is it your video? I mean, I guess, why not? I'll share it with the people. Maybe there will be some people that are excited. If you want more audience, you could wait a little bit. Celine says, third, indeed, third. Who claimed first? Void claimed first. McCory says, I was going to say, are you doing ASMR? Because you were so quiet a second ago. Am I still quiet? I mean, I can get rid of the music if that's what people prefer. I could just go like that. I'm just doing it for the vibe because music helps me pass time. Not think too hard on things, XFCT says, it's from a friend that is dev. Okay, I'll take a look. You can share it here on the chat. Mikori says, to be frank, I don't really hear it, so I'm okay with it. I mean, you don't want music, I can just turn it off. What's the consensus? Do people just not like having music in the background? Oh, wait. I mean, I could just keep it for myself. There you go. Turn on your own music, everyone. The bop is whatever music you want to listen to yourself. Okay. It's chill? Okay. I'll keep it on then. Can't ever make my own decision here. Because some people like music, others like playing their own music, etc. I just like listening to people talk, and sometimes music makes it hard. I see. Well, if the music is low enough, hopefully that'll help. Yeah. I think the biggest problem with people, I think it's just a balance issue. If people are okay. So game progress play overview that I was looking at for my game was 1, a limited resource choosing path problem. So that's the main mechanic, right? It's the whole where the game came from. You have limited resources like provisions, and then it's the game of which way do I go given the amount of moves I have in order to survive the walk. And then the next level is a light hazard. And then, making a sacrifice of do I go through this hazard or not? And then after that is obscure vision. Now, for the obscure vision mode, I was thinking a little bit of like a minesweeper type of thing where, because there was a problem with like not being able to see what's out there felt really frustrating and when you run into it. And then just having like the item that solves that issue felt a little bit too weird because like, why wouldn't you get that item, right? Like the choice is that it's almost like a must-have. At some points, player wants to have that. So I thought it would be interesting to have a game mechanic where if you're on a node, you get to sense like how many dangers that the current nodes are currently connected to. So for example, if I have one node and it says there's 2 danger adjacent, let's say, but I'm connected to 3 nodes and I just came from a dangerous node, then I know that the 2 choices are 50-50. And then depending on how it's like connected to every other part of the map, you can kind of navigate and guess, a little strategizing of like what is the quote unquote bomb. I think that could be interesting. All right, XFC says here's the link. Okay, I'll take a look at the link. Is the music copyright safe? I guess that's another thing. Or sound. Let's see. XFC says, I think this would be cool for the lines. The lava shader texture. I see. Okay, I'll try that. I'll take a look and consider. There are a lot of things I need to do to visually update, but Voice says, not really. It's just your stream's background are really low and listening to Ezra is better. Oh, okay. XFC says, I think this would be cool for the lines. The lava shader texture, just combine the comments to make it easier. Oh, I see. It is easier to see. Now I see why Adam Learns Live requires chunking. All right. Let's mute the music real quick. I'm going to look at the video that you shared. So this is for your friend, Game Dev.
Lava and water. Step 1 is to... Here's how you can create a flowing edge shader. Perfect for things like lava and water. Step 1.
Can you guys hear it?
Draw the boxes that we want to goopify. Let's draw the lava only in black and everything else in white. Then, we'll blur it. Notice that darker pixels are deeper in the lava. This will make sense in a second. We can use this website to create a noise map, which is tileable. We'll draw this in a separate texture and offset it over time. Now we have 2 textures we can use. The lava deep texture and the noise texture. Notice that they're both black and white. We're going to keep track as a percentage of white, so 0 is black. Let's start off by taking a look at the deepness texture. Let's write a shader. It will look at every pixel on the texture, but to simplify, we'll just look at 2. We're going to look at each of these pixels and determine how bright they are. So the first one is 30% bright, and the last one is 80% bright. Remember, this value is telling us how deep the pixel is in the lava. Now, let's take a look at the noise texture.
It's not your friend, it's just something.
In the same positions, but just on the noise texture. And obviously it loops. So in this example, the red pixel is 40% bright and the blue pixel is 80% bright. But what do we do with these numbers? Well, we want to create a threshold, which is...
So, I'm not going to finish it because I think I know what it's talking about.
This red the shader is. Why is it wobbly?
Yeah. So it's like the noise-based toggle of pixel, and because it's gradual, right? The percentage of the visibility is gradual, that the edges make this like
because the
little
bright parts of the
wobbly.
noise will push out the edge of the
Yeah,
threshold.
like this like a wobbly thing. Technically, that is like similar to the shader I took from the shader library, which I think I like them. I do enjoy them. Let me show you. Let's see. I mean, that's the concept of wobbly line in general, I think. So like, let's say I have these. And if I take the shader and then I say squiggle, and then I have squiggle on, you see how like it's like it's like moving like really abruptly? That's just matter of like the scale and smoothness. And if I made this like smoother, it would be that little bit more like outer layer line thing. So there's a way to do it. I think I like the concept. I think there's something that I could do. Maybe Fog of War would be a really good application for that. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. It's definitely something I would use. Squiggle, says with echo. I don't have a special sound effect that I could just add on command, unfortunately, so I can't just do it. But anyways, so that was cool to see. Let's see. Where audio's back to where it was. And then here we are. So last time, previously, we decided basically I wanted to do the thing where there is no title screen in the first time gameplay, where it shows a story and it goes immediately to the tutorial. And then I wanted the world to have a home base, kind of like similar to Enter the Gungeon. So whenever a player continues the game, they start at the home base and then they get to do whatever they need to do. AI viewers, geez. Now that is a new kind of bots we have here. I'm gonna bend that. So here we are. Instead of starting with the world, I wanted it to start with this dialogue with the warden, the character. Now, obviously, I need to do some camera control to have the warden as like the center. Basically, I'm waking up from this like mystery place, and then this character, warden, talks to the player, and then et cetera, et cetera. Basically, we started with the dialogue. Now, of course, all the camera angle and all that, we probably will have to figure that out. Now, the question is, do I hard code these like camera movements? Oh my gosh, it's so loud for me. Do I hard code the camera movements, or do I do it through my dialogue thing? Of course, I also am very much interested in changing that dialogue box style to something else for this type of like talking to the NPC character versus event. The dialogue box I'm using right now is for the events, I think. One that goes in the center. But then the dialogue box that I want it to look like for the chatting with the characters should look different, I think. XFC says, Ezra, do you do your sprites in a sprite? Yes, I do. That's what I use to make those things. So like this one, that's a recent updates I made. My character sprite, let's see if I have it. This one, right? We have this one. We got Warden. I made Smithy. So we have three official characters right now. They're a little bit different in style. I have the Smith here for not buying or crafting items. We got Warden here. We got the Sprouty. XFC says, how do you do your outlines? Which outlines? This one? Like right here? I mean, right now I just do and then Shift O, which adds outline. Excuse me. Gee. Ray Dahlia. Hey, long time no see. Ray Dahlia says, better make the camera controls now. You'll sure need to use that in the future. I do have the camera control. I have the system that I can just simply do the camera control with. So for example, right now, what's important here is that you know what? I'm going to just do it simply real quick. So right now, we said, let's go into the intro Explorer mode, and then we are starting the Explorer mode, and then the interaction with the dialogue happens immediately now. Instead, I could work on different dialogue box style real quick. So right now we have this dialogue panel that's purely for, what do you call? Purely for events. Maybe like the conversation dialogue could be down here. Alternatively, well, we'll see. So I can make a different style of this. Let's see if I can change the location, or I can make a separate dialogue panel so that we can just turn on and off a different panel as our like main source of truth. So we could even do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the same like outline, or for the style of talking to characters, make it look less like official. So let's say, I mean, I could do a little bit of experiment here and see what that looks like. XFC says they're cool. Yeah, in general. Yeah, thanks. So the way I do it right now, there is a outline feature on FX outline like that. And you can choose a color and then do FX and outline. And then you can choose like the style of the outline like that. So these are cool tools to use. But I use shader for the most part to do pixel outline. But I do the outline thing if I need to bake it in for whatever reason. Hey, Travis. Travis saying on YouTube, hello. Let's see. Celine says, unfortunately, I do gotta go. It's almost midnight here. Oh, it's okay. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to have seen you again. But we'll see each other again. Bye. Have a good night. All right. Anyways, so we got some sprites here. Now, I want to make sure my dialogue looks interesting. So I have one idea that might look stylized, but then also simple. For example, if I do like, let's say I have a 16. Yeah, like that. If I make the dialog box like this, let's say this is the dialog box, and then it shows up at the bottom, this could look interesting. To be better, maybe I can use my, let's see. Let's take a look. I want to try this. In my head, this looks like stylized and quirky. And then it still looks, what do you call? It still looks purposeful. I don't know. There's something about it that feels pretty good, actually. For some reason. Do something like that. Because it's almost like speech bubble. So let me see what this feels like here. I'll fill in the gaps a little more. And then I'll try to use this as my little dialogue bubble for character speaking. Have this like as a style. Like that. Hold on. Yeah, something like that. And then I think this looks okay. Let's see. Ray says, AI scammer's gonna go wild now that mods are gone. Mods are gone? No. Oh, okay, Celine. We have more than one mods. Don't worry, I mod my own chat. XFC says, looks cool. I don't know why, but it's cool. Maybe because it's like sketchy. Yeah. It's a little sketchy. And I think I do like about, that's what I like about it. And of course I could even do one of these things, but I kind of like it without the outline. Like making it feel a little bit more like, ooh, organic. But also still it doesn't feel like it's completely random. And guess what? We can actually add that wiggle effect, the squiggle effect on top of it to make it look a little bit more dynamic so it doesn't feel still. So it looks like it's like, ooh, here's a thought bubble that's happening or something like that. Ray says, you can make it more frames of it wiggling to make it look more what you mean. Yes! It's always funny to see, like, whenever I think about something and I say it and I look at the chat and then the chat has already said it. Great minds think alike, apparently. Okay. Dialogue. I don't know if it should be under dialogue or UI. I'm going to put it under dialogue and say speech or conversation dialogue box. I may have to mess with it a little more, but that's what I'm going to start with. And then let's see. I could make another container or panel. This might actually, well, let's see. Resizing this might be a pain in the butt, but we'll see. Convo dialog panel. Style. I wonder if I can, if I do texture style here, if it'll freak out on me. I kind of want to keep it fixed size instead of make it like resizable. So I might actually not do that, but just add the texture rect here just for testing. So this one right here. Let's see if we can. Let's do aspect ratio scale. Keep aspect. We'll scale. We'll double it out and see how that feels. So like that. Don't try this at home. It should be better managed, I think, but where voice says, indeed, we lurk in the void. Exactly. Lurk around. I don't mind. Lurking still helps. So let's say I have something like that, and I'm going to make the panel texture be completely invisible. So we'll try flat and then make that invisible. And then for the texture rect, we are going to add our material, shader material, and then we'll use the script that the line uses so that I can do squiggle. I think we can do like 10 and then add noise. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Okay, almost. We can lower the noise scale or make it bigger, I guess. Hold on. And then strength. XFC says, Ezra, do you know the squiggle effect? You could add more frames and the effect too. I'm sure. Oh, you were just trying to be part of the conversation of telling me what to do while I'm doing them. I know how it works. Whoa, look at how fast it is. I mean, this is the choppy version of it. Let's see. And then maybe we'll do 0.2 strength so it's not too crazy. I wonder what the bigger scale does. Okay. So what if I do 25 by 25? Yeah, okay, okay, one by one. A little bit more individual, more randomness throughout. I think this is okay. Yeah. It looks good, I think. For me at least. Do I put the character name as part of the dialogue box? I'm not really sure yet. Let me look at Enter the Gungeon real quick. Enter the Gungeon is a little different because they use speech bubble on top of the character, but I'm not sure if it says the name of the character or not. Gungeon NPC speech bubble. Because we still know the names of the NPCs, but I don't know how people do. Right? See, it just does that. So we don't actually know unless they introduce themselves. But we'll do this. Hey, thanks for the follow, Elite Trash. XFC says, Ezra, you could do the outline like this in Sprite. Select, modify, expand. You have to select the object you want the outline. Oh, okay. I see, I see. Is more fast and better. Is it faster than this? I mean, this is pretty quick. Select. So, okay, select. Modify, expand. Oh, you mean like do the selection expansion. I do that for when I'm adding outline to my art. Elite says, hey, I hope you're doing well. We're doing well. I am doing well. I don't know about everybody else, but we're adding some stuff here. Okay. So this is the background and positioning. I basically want to do exactly same thing that the dialogue, well, have exactly same thing that the dialogue panel already has, except add it to the convo dialogue panel instead. So let's make sure I put it over here. See if I have everything that I need. All right. VBox container. Oh, I should have moved that. Let's copy and paste that. But then the difference would be, I would probably put some margin in here so that the content margin might look a little different. It might not fit everything as nicely, but we'll see. Let's say we do 15. Oh, yeah. It's putting margin on the texture itself. I might actually have to do the texture rect. Let me think. Texture rect is full. Container sizing, it's filling it up. The VBox itself, I think what I actually need to do, I wonder if I can just add the texture in here instead. And just copy this material setup. So I'll save this as under dialogue. We'll say speech dialogue panel material. And let's say instead of doing this, I'm going to update the style to be a texture. And then do that. And see if I apply material to this, yes, it still works. Great. And then now, instead of having texture rect, I'm relying on the background. All right. And then, let's see. Label is still a little weird, so we're going to do content margin here real quick. Let's do the content content margin. We'll put it like, I don't know, 20 by 20 by 20 by 20. That feels a little better. And then the VBox is here. It'll always be centered. Full rect, center, center. Let's say this is what we do. It feels a little, it's okay. I think we can work with this. And then instead of using the description resource, I may be able to just use a darker color. So I'll make this unique. Add. I wonder if I can override it actually. So if I use the description like that, and then do the theme override for this particular label, and then change the font color, will that apply it? It doesn't. What's the point of theme override if it's not going to apply it? Right? Weird. Hi, Ewo. Ewo on site says, yo. Hi. XFC says, Ezra, do you know when a cat is in your legs and you have to go to another place? My cat, when I do this, he just stops looking at one place, processing what happened. He looks so confused. Yeah. I mean, it makes it hard to move. Once the cat does it, I'm like, fine, I'm stuck here for a little longer. I go, I'm sorry, I have to go. I have to move. I'm sorry, baby. And then I go. That's how I handle it. All right, cool. This might not look good, but we'll see how this all pans out. I have a feeling there's not going to be enough space, but we'll figure it out. All right. And then another thing here, I'm going to make a signal and it'll say convo box. If it starts with convo box, then we're going to use the convo box panel instead of the main panel. So we'll have the export var convo box panel, which will be panel container. But more than a panel container, I guess I want it to be actually a dialog box, which I need to define now. And this will extend that, and we're going to create a dialog box script that is an abstract, so it shares the function, so I can just easily swap between different dialog boxes without having to do any like specific knowledge check on those. Now this is like the benefit of interface in just general. Voice says, BRBS, hi Ewo. XFC says, you will add a squiggle effect to the text. I'm not really sure if I want the text to be squiggly as well. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just one or the other thing, not both. That's my personal opinion, at least. I don't know. So we'll have an abstract here, and that extends that. That also means convo panel will have its own thing. I'm not even sure if I should. I think I'm just gonna drag and drop the dialog box on it. Hello? Wait, why won't it? Attach script. Oh, because it's abstract. Let's not do abstract then. Like that. And then dialog panel will have that. Most importantly, add clear, add choice, and I think, what are some things we need? Clear needs to be there. Abstract needs to be there. It needs to have some information on text label. So we're going to have var dialog what do you call content container, which will be control of some sort or container of some sort, right? Change type. Yeah. We got content container, and then we're going to say text label, which will be label for now. And then, so we got content container here, like that. And then, let's see. What's going on here? XFC says, rule number 1 of code, if it works first try, something is wrong. Maybe. I'm going to go with the fact that I trust my code. I mean, you're right, by the way. I'm not refuting the fact that you're probably right, but I like to live in the delusion. I like to live in the delusion of my own grandeur that I've created. On choice selected will be bound. And that also means we're going to have on choice selected here. Great, 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 great. Actually, let's go over here. On choice selected, we'll copy over to the original script. That also means that easy dialog is non-existent here. Does it matter? Yes, we're going to export that out. Export var easy dialog reader, like that, I think. Yeah. Okay. And we have that. We're going to do next on the choice selected. Choice requirements. This is something else potentially. We'll see if I can copy it over. Ewa says, dude, Valve is rumored to release the Steam machine soon. The Steam Box? Or Steam Cube, whatever it's called. I thought they were postponing that because of the price of the hardwares. Huh. That's exciting. Hey, Master Agent Miyazaki, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while as well. Hello. Ewan Site says, that thing is going to be an absolute machine and also a target for game developers, since for the longest time, game devs had no definite hardware to target because of how wide the range of PC hardware configurations are. I could see that. I could see Steam Deck being, or Steam, not Steam Deck, because Steam Deck actually made a huge impact on like the cons and demo scene. So like indie game devs love to set up their booth with their Steam Deck, right? Because it's easy to mount it, portable, powerful enough to display everything, and it's like a really good one to have. So that's why I also bought Steam Deck, so I can mount my game on there for testing. But yeah, if I have a machine, it would definitely beat hauling around a huge main work laptop all the time. But, you know, sometimes the quick fixes that you need to make needs to be on board your computer. So running demo from your computer has its perks, I think. But yeah, targeting huge range of hardwares definitely have been a problem. It really depends on how much they sell. I think if they can make like pretty good number of sales, the machines out there, we can prove that there's like 1 million or 2, or like even more than that, then it can be legitimate for developers to just target that and not worry about like PC users as much. Okay. Anyways, I got to keep moving these things. Check choice requirement. Okay, so I need to apparently move those as well. Check choice requirement. I have a feeling that some of these, I might have to make it so that it's like abstractly implemented as opposed to doing it over here. Because checking the choice requirement, I feel like these are like the function of the main parser, dialog handler, as opposed to dialog panel itself. Because I want to use the panel only specifically for adding content to it. So let me think about this real quick, what the best way might be. Grab it. I do the whole add choice thing. I can grab its text label. Yeah. Button.disable as check choice requirement. This call can be deferred, I think. So let's see. Dialog panel. Easy dialog like that. Convo box panel. I think. Well, I might have to think about this very carefully. I might be breaking everything apart here. I want to have a combo box panel, which was this. And basically, during the process of adding stuff, so like when we're clearing, we also wanted to call the clear for the convo box. Yeah. Okay. I need to be very, very careful here. This doesn't actually have to share. Yeah, I think I'm overcomplicating this. I don't actually need to do any of this. I can detach this. Dialog panel over here. I can copy and paste this again. I'm gonna move it back to where it was, because I feel like I'm overcomplicating things. I can just use it as a control with like a very specific content, as opposed to like doing all this all over again. XFC says, I'm gonna get something to drink. Back. I didn't even notice you were gone. Hi, welcome back. Let's see. Miyazaki says, Steam Machine won't release with these insane RAM prices, I think. RAM prices will have to go down. Yeah. I mean, like, it's hard to justify as a vendor to make those things when things are so expensive, knowing that the consumers who you're targeting will not buy it at the cost that is reasonable for you to set it to. All right. So anyways, so right now we have the clear option here. When we're clearing, let's say we're going to have a panel or current dialog panel, which will be just panel container for now, which will be panel container. And that's what we're going to apply all the effects on. When we see a signal that says convo box on parameter, look at all these elifs. Somebody's gonna look at my code and be like, oh, this is all these nested or else ifs. Such a bad pattern for programming. And they will be right. I'll eventually change this, but not right now. Right now is not the time to current will be convo box panel. So that command will change that. Ray Dahlia says next yandere dev revealed if else perma. Wait, what? What's a yandere dev? Look, hey, I have a reason for this. I knew the problem with this approach, and I said I accept the premise behind this deficiency. And then I've already talked about how else I would do it if I were to fix it if there's a problem. But it's the same thing, guys. It's such a thin layer of logic that I just feel like it's okay. They're very specific for each one of them. Ray says infamous programmer also with 500 FLs. Nah, but you're okay. Yeah, I know. See, I know what I'm doing. The difference is I know what I'm doing, and I made this choice on purpose. Okay. If it gets any more unmanageable, then I definitely will change it. It's definitely not extensible. Do as I say, not as I do, is probably the idea here. All right. Can I help you? Okay. Shoulder. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, stop it. My cat loves to lick my face if I have my lotion on. I just like right before the stream, I shaved and then washed my face. So I put on my, of course, my skincare, and that's her favorite to lick. That's why she's like trying to kiss me, not because she loves me, but because she's hungry. Stop it. The Freak says, long-winded state machine. Long-winded state machine indeed. Well, it's not quite state machine because it's just literally a switch. The problem with switch, okay, so here's the thing. Switch is faster than if, right? And we all know that. But in GD script, I believe underneath it, the match case, which is their switch equivalent, doesn't actually work like a normal switch. It's just flavored if else. So it's not efficient to actually do match on these anyways. Also, if I were to really improve it, I say do a mapping, right? Mapping of the string, because these are commands to execution. Do a dictionary mapping of string to callable and just execute that. There's a typing issue, but, you know, it is what it is. Elise says, Kitty, come back. Psst, 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 psst. She's right here. Please leave me alone. So I got she eats dry food for the most part, but at daily we give them the wet food, and it's their favorite time. And like starting 3 hours before like their normal feeding time, they start begging, and they're like, give it to me. And like, no, it doesn't work. I promise you it doesn't work. But they're convinced that that's how to, like, even though I just give them food regularly at the right time, I think they're convinced that they are only getting the wet food because they beg me. Mikori says, the difference is Ezra writes bad code willingly. Yandere and Dev wrote bad code because that's all they knew. Yeah, that's the excuse I tell myself. XFC says, I don't know why, but my cat never did a meow. I mean, so I have two cats. Only this one meows. The other one, like, cackles. Hi. Say meow. Meow. Hi. Tiny. Tiny, say something. No? Okay. Bye. Oh, gosh. All right, that's enough. Hair. I'm going to sneeze here in a bit. Probably. All right. Mikori says cackles. That's not a cat. That's a witch in disguise. Yeah. Elite says, your cat is gorgeous, Ezra. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. XFC says, I don't know why, but... Oh, no, I already read that. Elite said XFC, try turning it off and on again. Oh, my goodness. Master Agent Miyazaki says, what is it? Object-oriented programming approach to have some function subclass for the different states would be much dirtier in my eyes. But maybe me coming from C89 originally causes me to dislike OP. OP is purely organizational, though. I mean, you knew that. If you were there during the functional transition between functional to OP, like with a lot of the coding patterns and designs, they became necessary because projects became big, and then like people couldn't work on it by themselves. So in hopes that people can we can make people, or not, gosh, I keep saying the word people a lot. I think the original intention was like, yeah, if we don't want to document things ourselves and then make still things like pretty readable, maybe in concept OOP is desirable. But even then, it's honestly, if you try to fit everything in the pure OOP sense, things get messier and heavier. Optimization-wise, it's not the best. Not always, at least. What's COP? Mikori says, we don't need OOP, we need COP. I don't think Mikori is being serious, but I don't know what that is, so I couldn't tell. Let's see. Content container is this right now. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the current dialog panel, which it's a little annoying. I think I can attach a script to this. Go to... It's slowly coming together. It's just taking me a while. I'm going to do the dialog box, but this only has defined these things. So it has a defined properties that I can access as a reader. So I can say dialog, extends dialog panel, and then do not have any of these. And instead, assign these like that. Content container would be VBox, text label would be this, and easy dialog reader is this. Same thing for this guy here, where content container is self, label is self. However, easy dialog reader comes from this main source of truth. It doesn't have to, but it can. And so during this logic, when we're doing current dialog panel, so the idea is on, I think on start, when we are clearing, before clearing, we're initializing, I'm going to say current dialog panel will equal to self here. But then if we receive this command, signal convo box, we're switching it over to the other one. And so all these things, the text label, it's using it from the export value. But instead of accessing it directly, we want to say current dialog panel dot text label, et cetera, I think. And then we're going to have to carefully take a look and change all the code here. Mikuri says composition-oriented programming. Huh. It sounds, technically it sounds very similar to OOP. Because OOP has a compositional concept. Right? But I'm guessing it's like more specific now. Is it a next evolution? That what the kids are talking about these days? Because I don't know. I'm out of it. Been pretty tired. I don't know. It sounds good. XFC says, no, we need cooperation. Oh, I see. Master Agent Miyazaki says it does. How Unreal handles app and editor level code with layers on layers of factories infuriates me. A factory is nice when you are not the one using the factory. Like, for example, if you're making software for other people to use and you're like, I don't want to write too much documentation. I just want people to know lists of things they can do with it. Here's a factory or something like that. So that the IDE can tell people by the name of the factory functions what can be attached. Worst part of Unreal has zero part of this crap documented in the code base. Yeah, that exactly. See what I mean? You get people mistakenly, well, the developers of the software often deprioritize documentation because they say code speaks for itself because we're following these patterns. So at least people know how to read through it. That's the argument. The true testament of good programming, apparently, I'm about to say heresy here, is a single page code with thousands and thousands of lines, no function, no methods, and no objects, and full documentation. Huh? I guess that could be the would you rather. Would you rather have a single page code base for an entire game with full documentation, or a completely decoupled and object-oriented perfect design of a program? What would you rather have? But no documentation. I don't know. That's a hard choice. McCray says, yeah, I messed up. I meant composition, inheritance. Try making it work for OOP, but it didn't. Yeah. McCray says, why not just code in zeros and ones at that point? I mean, look, if you have full documentation, isn't that what it's like to vibe code? Basically, you don't have to understand anything, but you let the vibe coder tell you what it is. Cyclic inheritance. Oh. Whoops. Dialogue box. There you go. Somehow I did that. Okay. All right, we got that. Child is grabbed from that. That's okay. Adding choice is simply grabbing that. And then doing that. Da-da-da. Child, that's okay. Button is a property. Where did it come from? Created a new one. I'm instantiating it. I'm adding it as a child to the content container. OnChoice selected is already running here. Connecting that to this function within this. Already knows what to do with that. Clear. I think I got to make it so that the clear runs on both. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, I already did that. What am I missing here? Uh-huh. Text label text. Add choice. We did that. I think we're okay here. Potentially. Already did that for the choice requirement. Dialogue. I think we're okay here. Only thing is we got to make sure when we switch this, this is what we should do. So on set, when we're setting this, we're going to do the value thing here. And then we'll say var previous panel, which is panel container, dialog box here, will be whatever's already in the value, and say, hey, like, if is not null, then we're going to set this to visible, false, and then we're going to make the current one visible, true. What else? I feel like there's some other steps that we need to do, but potentially it's okay. Let's see. Ooh, Hepta. Hi. I haven't seen your name pop up in a while. XFC says, okay, let me try. Master Agent Miyazaki says, in that case, namings need to be explicit and as informative as a context needs it to be without being too verbose. At least that is what I'm aim for. But Unreal's naming is many times just as bad as their comment etiquette. You know, this is the problem because they're busy just releasing features, and maybe they need to include documentation as part of the requirement. I don't know why they wouldn't. Luckily, I've never touched Unreal. I do need to learn it at some point in my life, even if I want to say I want to stay in Godot, but at least I want to know like the gaps so I can make that decisions better. Hepta says, dude, I haven't written code in a while. I just prompt Claude, lols. Yeah, well, like if that works, that works. I know a lot of people are doing that. The problem with like Claude or like vibing in general, I mean, it's the loose term vibing because when I use AI, it's not really that much of a vibe. You get like, you lose the leash on your program. So I have my code here, right? It's a pretty big project, and I've been working on it manually. And I've said this before, by the way, Hepta, to other people. In my day job, because I went back to work after 3 years, now that it's a completely new places, obviously we are pushed to use AI a little bit. So I got used to using it and I learned it, whatever, it's simple. And I learned that, oh, it's much more powerful in the hand of people who know what they're doing than people who don't know at all, which, you know, pertains to senior developers like us. But basically, after that, I was like, okay, well, I can kind of trust to use it in ways that shouldn't impact the final security vulnerability, the maintainability, and all those things, right? Because I added a headless testing script. I made ways to set up tests for my Godot JD script stuff so I can run tests, I can do scoping, all those things. And then I said, you know what? This is not going to impact me and my game. It's only facing me, which was internal tools. So I made this thing called Generation Preview Plugin, which is basically, I was making this new feature where I was adding a segment, which is a fixed mapping. And then I wanted to attach to a auto-generated stuff with following certain rules. And I wanted to test if it was generating properly. So this one is just like visually representing by running the generation logic that already exists in the code. So everything is already there. Only thing I'm doing is like call these things to verify this. Cool. I also made this thing called a segment creator. So I was like, well, here's a system, here's a structure. I want to be able to just have a wizard thing for creating a segment, which I created this. And so I vibed this part because it was like, well, I mean, this will not directly impact what's facing the customer. However, it was nice. It was fast. I got it to fix. But when it came to I know for a fact that there's a small bug that if I had a context of the entire thing myself, I could fix in an instant. But now because I vibed it already, that it's much easier for me to be like, all right, just go fix it, and then actually take longer waiting on it for it to figure out what's going on than me going and fixing it. Because now I'm like, I lost track. I lost all the context. I'm like, I don't know what it's doing, and I don't feel like learning it. So I got super lazy. So having used it to make something is making it more likely that you need to continue using it as opposed to going back to do it. I made a mistake of blowing the entire project up by changing a small part, and it messed everything up. And then it didn't mess it up, but then I had to relearn my code a little bit. So I'm even more cautious by using it right now. And token will be only more expensive. Let's see. Master Agent Miyazaki says, Hepta, your brain is the one that will take the toll. It does take the toll. That's what I'm talking about. Hepta says, but damn, token's so cheap. Right now it's cheap. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to use it ever, use it now while it's cheap, because it won't be any cheaper. No way it's going to stay this way. Hepta says, Claude being used heavily at Salesforce and from what I'm hiring, Kira is being heavily used by Amazon, which is using Claude in the background as a Cloud wrapper. Master says, soon they'll jack up the prices while also having extracted training data from the conversations users have with the agents. Remember, it is free or very cheap. Then you are the product. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think nobody is doubting that. And it's the whole convenience that we can't help but figure out. When you're being forced to use it, for example, when the big tech companies uses it and forces their engineers to use it because they need to, it's a product. They need to somehow figure it out so that it becomes cheaper. And I don't think it's going to happen, though. We'll see. Brainzap says, hello, handsome. Hey, Brainzap. Long time no see. Well, a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while. I guess this is the hour. I guess it's because I usually have my afternoon crew and I've been using a lot of late night stream instead. Well, it's good to see you, afternoon crew. McCoy says, I dislike Unreal massively, and the only singular reason for it is not being able to, quote, easily write C++ to make a game instead of using blueprints. Wait, is it required to use blueprints? I thought blueprints was optional for visual coding. You don't have to do it. Hepta says, tasks which would gone to an intern you hire is done in 10 minutes. In addition, I make Claude skills to do the repetitive boring task. Entry level is cooked. Entry level is cooked. I think that's the main thing. As I said, in my work and what I experience, well, the only thing is there's a whole if it becomes more expensive to run, then we do need to have hiring. Hold on. It's going. But yeah. XFC said, I'm gonna go, guys. Bye. All right, bye, XFC. Thanks for stopping by. Dude, this topic is always so like, there's so much to talk about, but basically, we all know the risk. We all know the convenience. We all know the implications. We keep warning new people. We'll see. Nobody knows truly what will happen. But be ready to use it when it becomes the future. One. Be ready to abandon it when it becomes failure. And at both ends of the coin, right? And just think until it happens, both are possibility. My bet is if I was a betting man, I would bet against it being permanently here, but we'll see. Adrian Miyazaki says they mostly document the BP blueprint, visual scripting language, or code that the BP system touches a lot, or common game related UObject hierarchies. UObject is the garbage collected object system that much of the engine uses. Anything outside of the UObject object system is basically undocumented. So anything related to tools development, plugin development, engine modification, and Slate UI, the UI system, everything is Unreal runs on. But UMG is UObject layer on Slate UI, which is partially documented. You don't need to use BP. I have zero use of BP in my RTS project, well, except some material blueprints, but even for UI stuff, much of it is written in C++ and HLSL. I see. Well, look, I mean, that's the thing. I think a lot of these engines do get away from people, and it's like mostly community driven in terms of keeping up with like how to do things. Because otherwise you're rediscovering something else that people have already discovered and figured out. And sometimes it's weirdly gatekept. Isn't that weird? Like, I feel like sometimes people feel like they have the, like, I don't know. It's a generational thing. I think like elder millennials to like Gen X, older Gen X, have a huge population of technology people who like to gatekeep their knowledge because they grew up with the idea of like, if you know something that other don't, make profit off of it type of like mindset, which whatever. I'm not gonna make any judgment here, I guess, but it's a little weird, but understandable, I suppose, in some angles. All right, so I am resetting it. I'm clearing it. I feel like this will break, but we'll see. First thing I'm going to do, let's see, visible. We're making the panels visible here when I'm switching it. That makes no sense. Let's see, game control. Dialog panel. I do the start here when I'm starting it. Oh, I make the visible panel here. So I'll say current.visible becomes true. We should probably flip it to true only if the previous visibility was true. So we'll do that first. We'll make the current panel same as previous and turn off the previous no matter what. All right, let's see if this works. I think this will fail fantastically, but we'll find out. Master Agent Miyazaki also says they spent so many years of working on Blueprint Virtual Machine. Epic will never give it up, even if it keeps failing spectacularly in certain common cases. I mean, if they have a whole organization and team around it, it's going to be really hard to cut it. Also, cutting features, big features like that, where they announced it as like a big thing for a longest time, especially if you're a public company, dropping that whole thing just to say this is not worth it for us is a bad optics for investors. Because investors don't really care and know about what the tools are doing. They just know, oh, you've been hyping up Blueprint and you've been saying you have a whole organization. Now we're cutting it? What do you mean? Okay. Clearly not working. I think, I don't know. I mean, it feels like I'm going to have to look at the order of things working here. So this gets executed, and I want to see if this gets executed here. Mikuri says, I did really like Blueprints when starting out. It was awesome, but as I learned more and began writing code more and more, I began disliking Blueprints. That's the downside of visual scripting. What I noticed about visual scripting is that people even the non-technical people, and I noticed this in like stuff like Twine or like something that's meant for non-technical users to learn and use, and it's like, oh, it's visual scripting and people can understand it easily, and then anybody can code with it, blah blah blah. Oftentimes people do get better. People naturally learn more, and they think, okay, well, instead of like doing this visually and with my hand, it's much faster to just type it out or copy and paste and change little parameters here and there and be able to like see everything all at once. And that's why Dialogic, which is one of the dialogue plugins in Godot, is an issue, right? It's like, it's good to learn, but once you get proficient at it, it is a burden. It hinders you. That's why I always have this like mindset of like, organizationally, this is good. That's why I made my dialogue plugin look like this, where you can just do this, and alternatively, you can just, change the whole file. So if you're making tools for other people, always think about how your users get better, I think. Shadow says on YouTube, I heard a lot of advices to try a simpler development programs like Hightail modding instruments to practice on smaller projects and see if game development is what you want to do. Okay. It's fair. Working on something that is like manageable to get the satisfaction of finishing something or doing something and easily getting onto it is a good thing. And that's why also a lot of times when people are first learning programming, they put you on like things like MATLAB, Python. What else are people using these days? JavaScript, because you don't need to set up your environment, which is a big part of a barrier for a lot of people who has absolutely no idea on computer, and then they're just getting started on programming. Going through setting up a language and compile system itself is a huge barrier to learning how to program. Because program itself is easier than understanding that sometimes. That's why I go, hey, learn your programming through GDScript and Engine, because all you have to do is download the program, open it up, and attach the script, and then voila, everything is there. So in a similar sense, what you're saying is right, Shadow, that people recommend doing that kind of stuff. But the whole part about like, is the game development for you or not? I don't know about that one. I mean, that's like just like a personal belief thing. I don't know if there's a case where it's not or it is for someone. Hey, Loon, thanks for follow. Like when I say, is it for someone or not? Like, what does that mean? If you want to make games, you want to make games. I guess it could be like, oh, like, do I want to program? But if you had a passion for wanting to make video games, I don't think the argument of, oh, programming is not for me will be a valid statement for you to give up on that dream. Because game development is more than programming, and game development is also not, a lot of times it's not even bounded by programming. There are a lot of people who just do bad programming and make successful games. So I don't know. It's like a philosophical thing, but I know what you're trying to say. I know the point. It just feels different for me. All right. So this one, I'm going to go over here and see if I can figure this out. Right. Okay. This is why. Well, we'll see. Shadow says, maybe you like only one or some aspect of the game development. Yeah, I guess so. That means like you have some part of yourself that can still be into game development. It's just not programming, I guess. But I don't know. How do people decide what they like or don't? I find it hard because like in my life, in my past like 36 years of living, or more. I don't actually remember how old I am. I have experienced so many things where I potentially either liked or didn't like initially, even like first 3 years, which is a long time, that suddenly I enjoy it. That like, it's like sometimes you have to ignore if you like or good at, if you like it or if you're good at it or not, because sometimes it's that one information or that one experience that just completely changes how things are. Hold on. I mean, I should probably not get so philosophical with this, but okay. I'm setting it to self. So after that, I see. Okay. Probably should ignore this if it's the same. We should probably do this here. Hold on. If previous panel is same as the value, then we just probably return here. Shadow says, maybe you can check it this way. 36 or 56? The words was little swallowed. I'm 36. Oh, right. I guess it's like this. Let's see. Elon says, we need more content creators like you and Twitch. Nice stream, sir. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not really sure exactly what you're referring to, but hey, I'm glad to see that our vibes are matching. I think a lot of people do enjoy this type of vibe. I don't know what. Though, I have to say, if I actually want more people to watch me, I do need to be a little bit more extreme, though. But it's okay. I can live with myself this way. I don't mind doing this. Elun, thanks for being here. Thanks for following. Mikuri says, love the splash screen. Haha, thanks. I appreciate it. How many times do you have to see the splash screen before you get tired of it? I don't know. Bazillion times, I guess. Let's see. Master Agent Miyazaki says, setting up a build system the first time is total pain, but at least, I don't know what the WRT, God, I should know. With regards to, is it with regards to Unreal? Oh, gee. What's going on here? Hold on. I have a phone call coming. I'm going to mute myself real quick. Hey, something's working. But I'll mute myself. I'll be on the phone. Hello? Hi. Let's see. Miyazaki says, setting up build system is pain. Yes, Unreal is good to know as it helps understanding how things work with a linker, compiler, etc., which becomes relevant when, for example, someone runs into linking error. It's true. That's still, like, even after knowing how to do those things, it's still a pain to me. And I have to remind myself how to do it every time. Because I like, it's one of those things, if you stay away from it for so many years, it just is something you have to research. I feel. Messer says co-working vibe. I see. Gilun says chill stream, get to learn a couple things. Ah, that's good. Yeah, with regards to, okay. All right, makes sense. Okay, something's working here. Convo box. Boop. Is it working? Resume. Clear. Almost. Almost there. It's just hasn't, it's not disabling this guy here. So we'll do that. Also, I noticed that it's not wiggling. So I got to make it wiggle. Where is it? Let's see. McCurry says... Nestor says, haha, true, I have notes that help me remind me. Yeah. I feel like there are a few things in... I don't know, it's just like, in general things, there are things that are just like, I don't know how these things work every time I try to do it. McCurry says, did you hear about HTML in Canvas that was recently announced by Google? No. What is it? Tell me. Tell me in detail so I don't have to go look at the link. Okay, so let's see. Convo box here. Wiggling, yes. So we had it over here. This is on. Squiggle is on. So why wasn't it wiggling? Do I have to make the scale bigger? Let's turn it up to 0.5. Okay, that's that. The other window wasn't closing on setup. So when we changed the current panel over here, they weren't the same. Previous panel came along. Let's try that. I think that guard was unnecessary. And then at the end, it didn't close the window at all, which the signal exit didn't. Oh, right. Hold on. Exit. It needs to make the current dialog panel visible equals false. Admit that. Cool. That should work here. All right. It feels weird to have made basically most of the mechanics for the game and then now going through it all and working on it one scene at a time. So it's like almost like you don't get to see most of the work I've done. But this is a necessary step for making the game. So I'm trying not to cry about it. Okay, now it doesn't work at all. Jeez. What the heck? All I did was change this, didn't I? Oh my gosh. What the heck? These copy and paste errors. Mikra says, I don't know much about it technically, but from what I know or seen before, you couldn't have pure HTML in Canvas tag before, but now you can with the toggle in the dev mode on Chrome, and that allows some pretty cool design capabilities. This person has some cool demos. Okay, let me take a look at the demo. No, I haven't heard of it. I actually am not very familiar with like the whole web app HTML stuff. Oh. UI designer, I bring you Liquid DOM, a complete and faithful implementation of Liquid Glass on web. Oh, very cool. Interesting. So that this new change is allowing this type of programming. I'm not really sure what that means though. I don't know what people like the web devs use Canvas for, the Canvas tag. It was mainly for drawing stuff on it, but then I'm guessing you were saying within Canvas you couldn't easily add like HTML component. So you were like manually drawing things on Canvas as opposed to relying on what do you call? Oh gosh. As opposed to relying on, oh gosh, my brain is dying. Oh yeah, like manual drawing or programmatic drawing. Okay. Jeez. I just had like a little stroke here. Mikor says, yeah, I think. Master Agent Miyazaki says, I have Liquid Glass on Windows via WindowHawk. I don't know what that is. I don't usually modify things too much. I got a new phone, by the way, just like a few days ago. And I've been on... I'm not on iPhone, obviously. I'm on Android. I have had... stop it! I was on Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus for past 5 years, I guess. Oh, gosh. And finally, I upgraded it. I mean, I didn't really need to upgrade it for the longest time. I still didn't. I guess the only reason I needed to do that is because I was running out of like physical storage and things were getting slower. But it wasn't even actually slow. Everything was kind of working well. But now that I have a new phone with much better camera, IRL stream is about to go hard. I don't know if I'm going to ever IRL stream or not, but we'll see. The quality will be better. Battery life will be better. Hey, thanks for the follow, GitHub user. Mikor says, I still think you should make an LLC for Easy Studios and use that as a name to publish. Instead of using my personal name, I guess. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's working. Yeah? Okay. Cool. This search button shouldn't be there because we're in Explore mode. We got to make sure those things get all lined up here. Let's see. That's probably because we didn't do a state change here. So we'll do a state change. Change fail start. Boom. Almost there. Mikor says, I love the scribbly look. Yeah, me too. I like, you know what my favorite part about that dialog box is? The fact that I didn't take forever to make those. That's my favorite part about it. Anyways, okay. So we got the dialogue in the beginning working, and then I have a few things I'm working on there. Basically, Warden says, hey, you woke up good. Meet me outside. But you're going to need this, and then gives provision. And then there's going to be a little bit of tutorial on how to use a provision, etc., etc. Right now, it's working with Fog of War. I think I might actually turn off the Fog of War for this one. For the intro, so that people can see everything. So that the tutorial message makes sense. Here we go. See? You're awake. Good. Don't move too fast. The ground isn't exactly where it used to be. There is much we need to do. But we should probably get out of here first. Find me outside. Oh, almost forgot. You're going to need this. And I received one provision there. I did the state change, but apparently the normal exploration commands or controls are still disabled. I'm seeing if I forgot to do something here. We got enter intro mode. The little action bar isn't there. Did I add a texture rect that covers everything? I mean, WASD is working, but the highlight isn't working here. Let's see. Why would that not be working? I guess that's a question. Sorry, I gotta take care of some stuff here. Maybe. You know, sometimes life duty calls. It's kind of weird. I had this like pressure building up in my head, and then right now it just kind of like clicked and then it got released. And I feel a warm sensation down my spine. Am I about to die? Well, my address leaked before, so if I die. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It is a little scary. You know, at this age, every physical symptom of anything is like the last moment of your life. Even though I'm sure a lot of the people who are a lot older than me will be like, hey, Ezra, stop that. But Bobby says, time to take the big sleep. No, don't say that. What do you mean? I was like, what's big sleep? No, thank you. Anyways. All right. I'm figuring this out. Give me a sec. You know, banking stuff. Also, it's weekend. Anyways, here I am. No big sleep for me. Just living life, living large. All right, so dialogue closed properly. It was working. There's still a piece of test I need to do where when I open up the events next, it opens up as like a center dialog box instead of the edges. And that's okay. Provision went up. The exploration wasn't working. Okay, so that's what I need to explore here. Why can I not click on that, right? So if I look at the explore mode, I think, and when I'm highlighting, check and show FTU move, that's fine. Is it because I skipped a tutorial? Let me turn this to false. Because part of this tutorial logic is that it disables the player action in order to say the tutorial part. But if I disable the tutorial, but still kept the control away as true, then we get into this stuck situation of like, it's expecting tutorial. But it's not going to work right. Actually, I think that might be it. So I'm going to set this to true still. Explore mode, when we start first, this is explore mode. We're going to come over here, the FTUE, check right there. We're checking and showing FTUE move. We're going to skip this. Let's see. When I start the dialogue, it might be that the state of the dialogue is the issue. Empty. I want to look at my area detection thing. So we have mouse shape entered here. On click area, mouse shape entered. Oh, it won't let me jump there, huh? Mouse entered right here. Is hover becomes true, and then it does something. I want to see if that gets actually triggered or not. If it doesn't, then we can kind of backtrack and see where the issue is. Hola, says Ian White. Hello, Ian White. Welcome. First time here? If so or not, doesn't matter. Hello, hello. Well, let's make games, yeah? We are making our progress slowly but surely, one at a time. Okay. Ian says, yes, this is the first time. I see, I see. Well, welcome, Ian. We have a few people out here. You're one of the few on YouTube. We got a little bit more people on Twitch, but chat is, what did chat do? Okay, so hovering doesn't do anything right now. So clearly there's an issue of hover detection. I'm going to change it so that do it right there. Oh, it's not even triggering that. Interesting. Why is it? Is there something on top? I know what it is. And this, this is a common problem I have with it. Always. I added a veil, which is I think, a texture rect. Where is it? Not the upgrade curtain. The world dimmer. And by default, yes. That's what it was. All right. Simple problem. I didn't have to do all that. All right. Now we should be good. Cool. I haven't figured out what happens at the end of the exploration mode here, but we'll see. And then we'll talk about it. More tutorial messages. More we can have. I wonder if I should make the little dialogue bubble have a drop shadow to make it look a little bit more polished. Or is that too much? There you go. See? Okay. Cool. So I can go boop. 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 There you go. And then we exit. Hey, it worked. Okay. Do you like my map generation? I don't know if Mikori saw this or not. But yeah. Okay, cool. So right now it opened up Warden set Mimi outside. And then I'm going to go check and see if I can get the regular event trigger. Boxes are normal. Cool. So that worked. Switching between different type of dialog box worked nicely. Mikori says, ooh, the map looks cool. And I think Miyazaki is agreeing here. You haven't seen it. Yeah. So this was my, I don't know if you remember, but last time, I guess, I was trying to make a map generation logic where, like I want it to look like one of those like Lord of the Ring or like old fantasy map kind of drawing. So I was able to do that. This took me a while, actually. As you can see, there's some sanity and relationship correlation of where the nodes are and what you see. Like, these are most likely forest. Forest here. Mountain ranges. I tried to make a little bit of like sparse connection between the mountains here. So you can see that the mountain ranges lay on where the mountains are. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I enjoy it. But it seems like there are a lot of forests in this map. And then I probably should add little like swampy area and all that. Okay. So this resizing needs to work. I need to make the resizing of this work better. Hey, thanks for the raid, LB Unix. Hey, good to see you again. Welcome, raiders. We'll give it a little shout out to LB. Shout out. Hey, Yo Insight. Hello. I hope you had a great stream. Do tell the world what you were working on. If you have a link, or drop a link, etc., etc. You know the deal. But we're chilling. We're chilling. We're trying to figure out. We're trying to get that first time experience all set up. Clearly, this is not something I want to. This is not the game flow, but I'm just kind of playing it because why not? Oh my god, there's so many spikes here. Let's see. That's a little inconsistent. So Sprouty talks in bubbles, but Warden talked in full dialogue. So Mikori says, by the way, why is a coin an egg? Is it an egg? It's just a coin. It's like the Mario coin. I don't know. It's just what it looks like. It's not meant to be anything else. But okay. There's no particular reason. It's supposed to be like a elongated little coin, I think. Little gold coin. But if it doesn't look like that, it doesn't look like that. All right. Let me check my list. So I had a warden that said, come meet me outside. And once you go outside, you should be able to talk to warden. So let's do that. And it says you are going to need this received game provision with it that, and then I suppose I should flag something, right? So as soon as this interaction is over, before exiting the dialogue itself, I'm gonna make it so that we flag a thing called Warden Wake Up, which means we're going to have some routing in here. So instead of start being this is going to say Warden Intro Wake Up Dialogue. And then we're going to go from start here. And basically, if we're going to do that. So if Warden Wake Up is not flagged, we go there. So this one is like the introduction, which will be true because it's not assigned. We're going to probably have a separately scoped like dialogue state variables, so quest state variables, which will be globally accessible. I think we'll have controls here, maybe under control. Let me see. Graph map. I don't want to put it under game state. Do I want to put it under game state? Maybe I do. Let's see. Journey mode. Dialog panel. Game state is available. So under game stat, not state, I'll make a quest flags, I guess, which would be a dictionary of string to bool. And basically quest flags will be the state variable for dialogues in general. Dialogue panel, boop, right there. And on start, simply dialogue state would be quest flags of game stat. And then on signal flag, so on signal received, when we do params, if we do flag, I think we'll basically get the flag name params1, and we'll say game stat set. Well, not even that. I guess we do set quest flag, flag name. And then this is how we're going to handle that. So under game stat, we'll have a helper function. Let's see, let's do it at the bottom here. Has quest, start quest, func, set quest flag, flag name. And then we'll just simply go quest flag, flag name equals true. Hopefully that'll impact it. Let's see. McCoy says, by the way, why is a coin in that? I already saw that. McCoy says, I thought it would be, but it makes sense comparing it to the Mario rotating. Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be circle, but then when it's rotating, it becomes narrow. I just thought it was like good enough. I don't know. It's the least of my concerns at this point, though. Okay. So we do that. If Warden wake up is true, not true, then we go to that. Next thing, if, I suppose, elif. No, I'm going to do it separately. If Warden, let's see, the first thing that happens, I want the Warden to do a little bit of exposition about like stories, right? So you come out, Warden's going to be like, you're going to need, you probably noticed that it takes provision to move around. There's a grain silo that I used to watch over. You should go try to find some bag of grains. So we'll say word in silo quest mentioned. We'll go into that, which I think I'll go to here. Let's say this is going to be like Silo Quest intro. Then we'll start that here. Mikor says, I don't know if you knew this, but if you didn't, this is probably awesome. Huh? Probably is. So I just found out these Ace Spray features today. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that's very cool. This kind of undoes some of the features that script that the Baka design is working on. But maybe it's okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. So this is going to play immediately. You're right outside. I want to make it. Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing here. I want to do a segment here. I'm going to create a new segment. And this is going to be tutorial segment. But what happens if you restart the game, though? Because I was thinking like, oh, silo should be the first thing. Like it should be the closest thing. But what if the silo isn't? So I think instead of Warden being like, go to the silo, get the provision, you just go, well, Warden might be introducing like, hey, there's stuff there that could be useful in terms of like this problem. By the way, you can pick up stuff out here. Maybe that's what it needs to be. So instead, we'll probably drop the Warden on the start node to begin. So let's see, how do I do that? Home village is this one. And then for this one, I think, oh, this is an overworld. Can I not put I think I can. I must be able to. Okay. I might have to put the same logic as the other one. Let me think. Oh, this is going to be a little tricky. You came out, you survived, you did the little tutorial thing. And then you come out into the overworld, and then Warden says something about meet me at the silo. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. It's gonna say you made it. And then it's gonna talk about what should it talk about? Silo in hold on. Warden story intro. Warden story intro. Then I should probably make this so that the convo box happens every time for this whole thing. And basically, I'm going to reorder this. You probably noticed you need provisions to move, to survive. Yes. Well, you will have to. I don't want to like explain the game too much. Well, lucky for you, I am the head warden of main grain silo. Oh, great. Then I'll go somewhere here. Warden's problem. And then that's going to be, hold on, I'm going to move this around a little bit. You say, oh, great. Unlucky for you. And then we're going to talk about this. So we'll say, in the beginning of the game, let's see. We'll do signal, character, warden mode, if result is abandon, do this, else do that. So we'll go Abandon would be path harvester, and then the other way around. So this is where the first time the difference between the two different critical moment of decision makes a difference in the run. So the idea is that the warden, one version of the warden decide to run away and commit to harvesting the crystal to make grains, versus the other one is like, go recover something from there. Because I turned on the security. And that's going to be the main difference here. And that also means we want to make sure get warden mode is properly flagged. So we'll go to the journey mode. Dialogue. I guess we should do character state warden. And we'll create something for that one. Got dialogue plugin here. Yes, another elif. I'm getting ever so close to changing this bar. Character name. And then we'll probably have a... I don't know if it should be game stat or global state. I guess it'll be game stat for now. I'll have a... for now, character state here. Character state, which will be dictionary of string to string. And basically, in the beginning, for now, I'm going to make it random on every run. When we are initializing, I think. I guess we're doing game stat here. Inish. Oh, what is this? Oh, because there's a build issue. Okay, that's fine. We'll go game stat, character state, get character name, and set that up on our state. Like that. This is like in the way I use this is where in assembly back in the day, when you do a function call or get, you put the result or the parameters into a register, a known register, and typically a return values were assigned to a register 7. So whenever you call or jump to a function and then you expect it to return something, you check the register value 7. So I'm using result as my return value. So when I call something, I'm promising myself I'm assigning the value to the result. So that's how I'm managing this so that I can be consistent with myself. Okay, so we got the character stat here. And so in the beginning of the game, when I'm initializing the game stat, character stat, state, init, randomize in more compartmentalized way later to do. And so we're going to just go dip, character state, warden will just be, what is it? Abandon or harvester. harvester. And then we'll do pick random here. Okay. All right. Should be good. So one of these things will be assigned. Hey, Eden. Eden says, hi. Hello. Welcome. Good to see you again. Okay. So that should assign it. This should do it. Over here, abandon will go to the harvest. We'll say the automated blessed door sealed the second the crystal cracked. So we're going to say, well, lucky for you, I'm the head warden of the region's provision silo. Oh, great. Can I have some provision? Well, it was that. And then the warden would say, unlucky for you. The automated blast door sealed the second the crystal cracked. I spent my life guarding those silos. But they're tombs now. We can't waste time trying to crack them. So I've rigged a synthesizer to make I have synthesizer to make provisions out of hazard biomass. Bring me biological mess from the hazards in the fog. From the fog, a mess in the void fog, and I'll make them edible. I don't need these. Well, maybe I do. Extractor blade. Okay. And then, of course, we got the questions of you want us to eat the void mutations. I don't observe, examine the synthesizer. Well, maybe we don't have to talk about all these. There's some exposition, but the whole point is that you have these like two different storylines that I could do. That happens in the beginning when player first comes out of the haze. So explore mode, let's see. Journey mode. Enter intro explore mode here, right? So I'm going to, when it comes out, I want to make it immediately go into the home village explore mode where the warden would be standing. And it should be conditional standing. So we'll see if I can do that. So I'll make another one here. Enter home village. Explore mode. So hopefully it runs this immediately. Which I think it'll just be this. Current POI will be that, so I guess I'll enter mode immediately. I wonder if I can tell if I'm coming out of tutorial mode or not. I guess I can keep flag of this. Potentially dangerous. Let me think. We did that. It's gonna exit. I come out into the world that's been generated. But before doing that, I wanted to immediately go into the enter mode, which I can just do it that way. Let's see. On explore exit, which gets triggered here. I'll have the FTUE stuff. FTUE. There. I'll add one. Export var is first time, or is first time explore exit, which will be this. Oh, this, I guess we could just use that then. I'm using it over here. Check and show FTUE exit. I want something else actually. Let's call this is first time is tutorial intro exit. And we're going to, by default in the beginning, on explore exit, we set it to the current world POI. We don't make anything visible, I don't think. I think I make it so that if FTUE how am I accessing these? I forgot how I'm accessing these. I'm doing it somehow. SnowGod says, hi, what are you making? I'm making my game called Through the Shatter. Steam page available. You can see in the pinned comment. It looks a little different than this, but basically it's a roguelike adventure / strategy game where you manage your provision to explore the world. Focus of the game is exploring, discovering what's behind the corner while upgrading and choosing your build. And there's like a hidden secret of exploring the lore and randomized lore. Or randomized storyline, I guess. Or world experience in some sense. So yeah, but it's like a pixel art oriented, very much indie vibe. Right now I'm working towards making my free demo available for end of June, so I can do marketing push for October Next Fest. So I'll start doing my playtest or release of the demo game in June. That's what I'm working on. Right now we're working through the game's like first time experience, like step by step, to get all the things I want to achieve for the players to experience available, which is tedious but necessary. I wish I could make this a little better, but unfortunately it's gonna be messy. Is tutorial intro exit? If that's the case, we're gonna set this to false and then immediately go back. Enter explore mode, which will be the home village because we already made it so that we are doing the home village thing. And let's see what this does. I want to see what this does. It might break everything. It might not. Sinister says, do you do your own pixel art? I do. I mean, for the most part, I enjoy making pixel art. So, you know, I do this kind of, let's see, you know, I make these, but these are simple, so it's not as impressive. I also like making regular art as well. Where's my... Ah, see? I made some pixel arts here. I made this to print. Yeah, see? I mean, obviously I feel proud of these, but like, it lacks. It has a lot of lacking. Oh, what the heck happened to this? Oh, there it is. Okay. You know, some like painterly stuff, some game asset stuff. I also have a asset pack available on my itch page as well. So, which actually I'm surprised that any has been selling. Like I mean, it's not a lot, but I do have few people buying. So, by the way, see, $1 here, $2 here. By far, this is my best seller. But we'll see. I'm adding to it. All right. Okay, we got this going. Hey, thanks for the subs and follows here. Who's following me? Brian Warden. Oh, wait, is it Warden? Brian Warden follows. Necrocode follows. Thank you, thank you. Snow God says, The Blood is Meta is a fun game. I just tried it. Did you? Oh, nice. Thanks, appreciate it. I do want to... That's one of the games that I eventually want to improve on and complete as well. Okay, kind of worked. Okay, so right now what I did was it went from explore mode to explore mode again. Only problem was that it went through the normal exit cycle. So when it was entering, it went from... like it flashed the world real quickly between. Instead, I think enter explore mode. It does this thing where we're changing the veil color. It does the opening sequence, which is this one, where the color changes. Background color. I wonder if I can avoid doing that. It should probably go from where it was instead of starting from 0. It should probably go... Start from where it was. I have a feeling this might break. Well, we'll see. Sinister Darth says, ooh, very nice. Love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you were talking about the pixel art. Yeah. I like making pixel art. It's one of the things that I like to do. As I do. But life be. But yeah, if you haven't already, and you've been watching me enjoying this, it helps a lot. Go check out the wish list or Steam page and go wish list it, which is available on the pinned comment. Oh, and then we got the music coming along nicely, so we'll see. Okay, exit, transitions. Cool. Not terrible, could be better, but we got it going here. And here, basically what I want to do is have Warden maybe set up in one of these corners. And then exploration in home village, I want to make it so that the move doesn't use provision, because I want this to be a safe space. So maybe even the background will look different, but I could do that. Home village. And I guess, let's see. We'll make a gen config for the home. Maybe it'll be a map node thing. Or gen config thing. I'll do a gen config thing. So basically, explore gen config. I'll add a export variable here. Export will be safe zone. And then basically we'll turn that on just for this guy right here. When we're in safe zone, there are a lot of animations and like polishing that I need to do, but for now I think we're going to just kind of live with this. Explore mode on enter when we're starting. Let's see. Encounter is already described. Player is here. I think the source node. Do I provide a source? Is there a source? Explore source. Okay. This does get assigned at some point during the generation. Okay, cool. So move count display, which I want to make it so that if the source is a safe zone, we don't do the whole move count thing. Basically, when we're starting a new day, whole spend provision thing. Safe zone. Wait, what the heck? I thought I just added that. Oh, I added that to, okay. I added to the wrong one. Let's see. Go back all the way. Don't do it on the explore config, do it on the map node itself. Kelso says, "Oh, Ezra are doing so much code right now. You have 1,000 in a single script. How you manage things?" I just remember everything I wrote. That's my management. Also, I do have like a conceptual organization. Yes, it's 1,000 lines of code, but like the type of functions that is meant to live in journey mode versus like map drawing tile versus like journey FSM. Like I know what kind of things go in there. It's a contract to myself. That's why I know what is where and I kind of know the keywords. Of course, coming back to it after like long break will be a pain. 1,000 line of code. How many functions? I mean, you can see it right here. It's not that much. It's not that bad. And also I have these like organizational structure that allows me to kind of remind myself. I don't know. I don't worry too much about it because it's like every time I add a new feature, it's like I'm trying to refigure it out anyways. But yeah, not the best way to do it, I'm sure. But yeah. And a lot of, look, just in variable alone, I have like 72 lines or whatever. Oh, global variable alone. It's just how much I need. And you could be like, oh, you could put it into a different states and composition of all that. Yeah, I could. But at the same time, I don't have to. I don't have to. And the main thing is that I made it so that the system allows me to do a lot of content creation level stuff where I don't have to change things already existing by just using the properties of the inspector in order to set things up. So that helps that I don't have to re-dive into things. A lot of these are like just supporting existing function or like it's a surface to directly impact connection. But, you know, at the end of the day, these are all excuses for myself to justify myself. So on starting new day, instead of spending, we say source, explore source is safe zone. Then we're gonna spend provision on repeat. Also, the visibility of move count, which is the explore mode, display. What is it? Graph generator line, POI container, explore UI, move count UI. I think this does its own visibility check. Does it not? Move count UI. Doesn't really say how it highlights it. I guess its visibility. Move count FT we missed. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, I have no idea what's going on. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I got it. Move count UI, which is available here on start. I'm going to say if the source is safe zone, then we're going to make the move count UI visibility to be not true. Basically, it's like flip of this. If it's safe, we're going to make it false. Otherwise, during the journey mode, which was right here, we're enter intro explore mode. The current POI, which becomes the source, I think. I'm going to make it so that this one is safe zone is definitely false. Okay. I think we're okay here. So I'm going to test it in the beginning of the game. It does the move counting and spending of the provision. When I move over to the home village, it should be infinite number of movement without using any of my resources. So we'll see. Okay. That was annoying. I'm back. Yeah, Sinister says, all right, who was cooking? What was the code you put in to make? I know. I made the fire alarm go off. Oh well. I guess that was about time I needed to take a walk anyways. I think I was just testing. They're doing some drills around here. But twice in a day is kind of crazy. It's kind of annoying. I don't remember what I was doing before this. Poor kitties. I want to take the kitties with me outside, but they're so scared that they go under the bed and I can't get them. And then not only that, I have to pick them up to like put them in the box and stuff, which is even more difficult. It's crazy. Crazy time. All right, I was in the middle of doing something, which I don't quite remember. Voice says, "Ez, I'm back. I fell asleep." No, it's okay. We'll be done soon. We'll be done soon. Okay. Oh, yeah. The thing is gone. I think I should be able to move around infinitely. Yeah. No provision wasted. Cool, cool, cool. We have a safe zone now. Should be able to exit here. And then if I go back in there as well, which I should probably make the search free as well. Still free. Okay, cool. And then this thing works. Nice. And then this should have the regular move. Great. Everything is working. We got the safe zone. And I kind of like how I made this new notes. I might have to change the character maybe a little bit. I don't know. So it's looking good. Looking nice. The dialogue box is nice as well. Nightbeth says, ooh, first time seeing the tile map in action. Yeah, isn't it nice? The generation I kind of feel proud of. It has a lot of bells and whistles, and I can add more to it. Though I guess part of me is like, should I make the background color something different so that it looks more like a map? But I don't know. There's something about it that the way it looks right now feels okay. Okay, so next thing to do. So I made it go from the intro to the home village, and I need to make it so that the warden is there again, telling the story. So then the player gets to pick up the quest, and warden has a station. So my idea is in the home village, you saw the little grid with like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagonal shape. Each of those corners will be occupied by special NPCs. And as you do more for them, they start setting up that node with more and more stuff. Like they're making their own station in those nodes. And then you go there to like have a conversation, go back out into the world, travel around and all that stuff. So I think that would be good. I think it's looking pretty good. And I just need to make sure I'm going to work on the story off stream because I want to make sure I take some of these things as a secret because I want people to find out. But yeah. I think it's cool. Most of it is working. I know you guys were waiting for me to come back, but I think it's a good time to end anyways here. So we're going to raid out. Thanks for watching today. We'll see if I come back tomorrow. My original plan was that I'm going to stream tomorrow and Monday as well. Excuse me. But we'll see. We'll see if that's something that I actually do or not. But yeah. Let's see. I don't care about that. I guess Big Boy is one. We can go to Big Boy. I don't know if there's... Hey, Shader Theory's on here. I didn't know Shader Theory had a stream. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll go to Big Boy. I always feel a little weary about rating a new person. Sinister says, thank you for the stream. Hope the kitties won't have to deal with any more fire alarm anxiety. No, I know, true. I feel bad for them. They're like very much scared of any kind of fire alarm. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. As soon as the Twitch stream lands on the Big Boys channel, we'll say goodbye on YouTube as well. Don't forget to join our Discord for announcements. Well, I already sent to Twitch people. And I guess subscribe and follow.